Lemon Drops, welcome back to another episode of The Squeeze. This one is a little different than our normal episodes. I have some friends with me in this episode, and we are spilling all of the tea on love, relationships, ourselves, and lots of things. And I have two beautiful humans with me to kick this episode off. If you want to introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Lexi.
I'm Victoria. Happy to be back.
I know, right?
Yes, back.
Thanks for having us back.
Yes, return guests.
The reboot.
Yeah.
It's the remix.
The world tour.
We're going to be put on the spot here with some of these cards Tay has prepared, but
yeah,
I'm going to give you my all.
you're ready. Okay, I guess we can probably start with, oh wow, there's actually some good ones on here. And I'm actually surprised that I'm surprised because I wrote these.
I was just thinking.
Wow, where do I want to start? Maybe let's just start with biggest ick. I feel like that is such like the go-to question.
Being rude to strangers.
Ooh, being rude to servers.
Being rude to servers.
Yes. Like, yes.
I
That's
will
like a friend ick for me, too.
Out of somewhere.
No, it's even when I have friends,
Yeah.
it's, oh my God, it's bad.
Wait, I'm curious. Did you guys work in the service industry?
Nursing.
Okay.
So not service
yeah.
industry, but
That is
different kind of
service.
service.
That is a lot of service.
I didn't, but my mom did. And she has so many stories about waitressing and like things she learned and just a lot of stories. So I think about it.
Okay, that is the best biggest ick though. It's like, oh no, absolutely not. Because also, I think I heard one time a celebrity would take dates into environments and leave them for like 30 minutes to an hour and see how they survived and then how they treated other people and then come back, because sometimes they'd find that they treated them differently than they treated like just anyone if they didn't know who they were.
Interesting.
I think it's really interesting.
That is
Yeah.
smart
Yeah. No,
strategy.
That's a big one for me.
Find the good eggs.
You gotta be nice to everyone. What would be maybe the worst date you've ever had? If you haven't had a bad one, maybe like the best date. We can go either end of the spectrum.
Wiped up for 8 years. I'm like, did I go on a date before
8
Max?
years?
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
I feel like it's just kind of like rude to say that I've been. I know. I don't even really think I like went on that many dates.
I feel like maybe you all both feel this way with your forever partners. Like anything before my husband, I'm like, that was not real. Like
That wasn't a date.
No,
Yeah.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I blacked it out. I felt nothing. Like this is the only relationship I've had.
I think my worst date was I went to get tacos and I don't think this man said a single word to me, and I kept trying to start a conversation, and then at the end of the night, he went in for a kiss, which I wasn't expecting because it was a horrible date, and it literally, like, I'm not kidding, it was like it like actually hurt my head. Like it was like
God.
in and out so quick, and then he got in his car and backed into my neighbor's house. So that
He was probably like so frazzled, like
That was
secondhand
fun.
embarrassment.
yes, that was fun. Yeah, and then he ghosted me. So
Well, he had to have been like so embarrassed.
I mean, there's nothing embarrassing. Like, I've had plenty of car accidents in my day. So
Bad driver.
I wouldn't say bad driver. I would
what I
say
am, so.
bad in parking lots.
Okay.
Oh, well, that's funny. I actually thought of a worst date. The date wasn't bad. It was with Taylor, but the experience itself was like bad. It was comical. I think it was like our 6-month like date anniversary dinner. We went to this sushi place that everyone had like raved about, and it was so bad. Taylor and I would like, we're putting it like, we would try it and then we would spit it out in our napkin. We ended up putting it in our napkins and bringing it to the bathroom because we like
Felt
Taylor and I
bad.
both get really like anxious about like sending things back
Yeah.
because someone worked hard and made that, and I feel bad. So we just threw it away in the bathroom, and then we went home and
Did you take turns going to do that?
Uh-huh. I went to the bathroom 3
That's
times.
really
had dinner.
sweet of
and
you
then we
guys,
went and got
though.
Mexican food after.
Oh.
So it wasn't like the food was not great.
Yeah.
The company was nice.
Well, the sushi you gave us tonight was incredible.
I
So
was gonna
you guys
say,
have redeemed yourselves.
Opposite experience. That's funny. What do you think about sliding into someone's DMs? I support it.
YOLO.
I support it so much.
Yeah.
If anything, I feel like I underestimate how, I don't know, nerve-wracking that is for my single friends. Because I'll be like, have we really sat down and gone through the entire Los Angeles Rams roster and sent everyone a DM. And my friend's like, I don't think that,
You're a
like,
good friend.
what if they talk? You know, I'm like, but what if they don't? Shoot your shot if you want to be with a pro athlete.
I didn't know that's where that was going. That's hilarious.
But then
That's
they're
really
like,
good.
it's I can't, that's awkward. But I guess because I'm like I said, wife for 8 years, I'm so out of the game that I'm like, just text them and say, I'm really interested. Can we go on a date? And they're like, that would be the worst thing I could say.
I think that's hot. I think it's hot when someone's like, I know what I want. Like, hey, I'll pick you up at 8. And if they don't respond, like, that's on them. You know, like, who knows? Maybe just be delusionally happy. Just be, delusionally happy and just tell yourself that maybe they're seeing someone and it's not public yet. And that's why they didn't respond. But also, I would just wait for a story that they post for me to, like, swipe up on. And, I feel like that's dipping your toe in the water. It's like.
I do think, the follow.
Water's
Did they
warm.
follow you back? Are they watching your story? Have they liked?
Have they liked anything?
I would need to, like, feel like the water's warm before I just sent a DM.
Yeah.
Because you know what's the worst? Why when you DM some certain people, you can't unsend it.
Oh,
But some people
really?
you can.
And then you can only send like a certain amount of character. This has happened where like if you're not like friends with them, you can like send the message and then you can't like send another one. Because it says they have to like approve it and you're like, but my first message doesn't make sense with the
I
second
have that
message.
all the time. I feel like it's like podcast pitches, and I'm like, wait, I click send by accident. I think it's their settings.
Yeah.
But then I just sit there and I'm
Hopefully,
like,
hopefully they know it's their setting, so they're not like,
Probably.
this weirdo. Hopefully, I guess we'll never know. I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know.
I guess we'll never know. Kissing on the first date.
If you're into it, yes.
I went to Vegas on my first date and now I'm engaged to that man. So, just go with it.
Did
Just
you
go with
guys
it.
plan to go to Vegas, or it like happened?
No, I met him 48 hours prior at a party. I didn't know him. I hadn't talked to him for more than 5 minutes of the party. He asked me on a date. We went to lunch. He took me out to a cute little lunch spot. And I was like, do you ever just like want to do something spontaneous? And he's like, I love spontaneous, liar. And then I was like, let's flip a coin and let's flip a coin and choose a place to drive to right now. And it was San Francisco, San Diego, Las Vegas, and I think one other spot. And it didn't land on Vegas, but we were like, we're going to Vegas.
And you drove?
Yeah, we
Oh
drove.
my God, I'd feel so nervous about the car ride being really awkward.
And so that's what everyone has said once I told them the story.
Oh, I didn't even get that far yet.
No, that didn't even go into my brain for 1 second. We were just in it and we talked the whole way there. We like didn't hold anything back. We told each other everything. And it's funny because a couple of our friends then tested out the first date trip theory, the extended first date theory.
The coin flip.
And it really let them figure things out quickly,
Wow, I did not even think about the car ride.
No,
oh my gosh.
I probably wouldn't either. And then we'd be in it and I'd be like, oh no, I can't let there be a break in the conversation. You know, when you have to get to a level with someone, even friends, where you can just be silent and not think about it, that's when you've really, it's so great.
It's so
I
good.
love that
rotting
phase.
with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The silence in friendship is just like so nice. Even though I feel like that sounds weird, but it's so nice.
You were one of those people that I quickly felt okay being quiet around. I was like, I don't need to perform for her. I feel safe around her.
You really are so chill, Tay.
Wait, guys, that's so nice.
Like,
that's the sweetest.
Even
compliment.
tonight, hosting such a huge group, you're so composed and it's no big deal. And I admire that.
Thanks, guys. Now I'm uncomfortable. That was very sweet.
Next question.
Next question. Ooh, I'm trying to find a good relationship. Maybe best advice to a healthy relationship. What do you feel like you've maybe learned or something that you wanted to know you could have known going into your relationship?
I would say I'm trying to give a more unique take than my usual stick. I would say be wary of the stuff that you've seen in the movies that you think is really passionate, true love that's actually toxic. You shouldn't feel jealous if your partner's hanging out with the opposite sex. They shouldn't be texting you, asking you what you're wearing to the party they're not going to be at. I don't know. I just think when you really trust each other, then you don't need to do that stuff. And I think that you hear people say they like when it's chaotic and there's constantly conflict, or you have an argument to then be told that they love you and it's okay. It's let's avoid the whole argument and just say, I'm really craving love right now. Can you validate me? Can we cuddle? Instead of starting a fight to then get the thing, you know?
Yeah.
No, that's really good. I really like that. I think mine would be learning communication styles. Because I feel like once Taylor and I learned that about each other, it was such smooth sailing because we are opposite communicators. And Taylor would always think I was upset at him, or like he would get frustrated that like I just like couldn't like talk when he would like want to talk, and I was like, I don't know, I'm flustered. And now like he knows, like he'll like vent to me, and then he'll be like, okay, we'll talk tomorrow about this. I'm like, oh, okay, great. Like it's so much like more healthy, and we don't get upset at each other. Like I know how he talks, I know how I talk. So
I love that.
that would probably be my advice.
I know that's huge. Communication styles
Yeah.
is huge. I think for me, it was like before the relationship even started, working on myself and being like, it's okay to be single. And I was actually excited to have that time to really deep dive, because before my current fiance, I dated very like problematic people that caused me a lot of pain and were very narcissistic, and some were abusive. And it was something where it took me stopping and being single long enough to actually see that I was dating in a pattern because of my past trauma. And once I recognized that, I was able to get a breath of fresh air, breathe a little bit, work on myself a little bit, and then I was able to finally start gravitating towards the right people.
Yeah.
So,
And actively seek out like a different type of person.
Stop attracting the wrong person and be able to see the red flags before it's too late.
See, we knew we would
so
get
good.
deep for you guys. This
We knew it.
trio,
I know it.
we knew it.
We knew.
This is who we are at our core.
I know. Victoria and I were like, we're going to be so funny and cute. Like, we tried.
Not us. Okay, last question on the same kind of note is, if you had to recommend one thing that's helped your mental health, what would that be?
Should I say mine? Spending less time on the internet,
Yeah.
which I probably shouldn't be saying as someone who creates content for a living, but in doses, you have to give yourself breaks.
For sure.
And the doom scrolling, especially at night,
Yeah.
it gets like your brain all crazy. But yeah.
I would say therapy. It's a huge privilege that I've been able to go the amount that I go, and for the years I've gone like on and off depending on the season of life I'm in, but it's really been amazing. And I think if you are able to seek the help, seek it, and even opening up to someone that you love and talking to them just like takes the weight off of your shoulders. So
Huge.
yeah.
Those are both really good. I think maybe mine would be just taking that first step in admitting or saying out loud like what you're feeling, because I feel like it's always not admitting you have a problem, but like admitting, hey, I'm struggling with this. Hey, I'm having these thoughts. Hey, I'm going through this. That first like initial thing could be so scary, but then once you say it, you're like, oh wait, this actually like isn't as like scary as like I built it up to be in my head. And when you say it out loud, like even to yourself in a journal or to someone that you love and trust, it's like, hey, I'm not like in this alone. It's like it's out in the world now, and it's better.
You know what's crazy is I feel like 90% of the time, I'm just guessing, but to me it seems like almost 90% of the time it's never as bad as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
People don't respond as bad as you think they will. Things don't turn out as bad as you think they will. Coming out of an abusive relationship and thinking no one's going to be there, and everyone was there waiting for you, excited for you to get out of it. Like it works out.
It's so true.
It's true. I love you guys. Thanks for doing this.
Love you
Love
guys.
you.